Hey, it's Tim with the University of Vinyl. Thank you for checking back in again today. Uh, I'm going to talk about Dire Straits today. I recently came across two different pressings that turned out to be head and shoulders above other copies of the albums that I already had. Um, this is one of those bands for me that I just want to have the best sounding pressing of my favorite albums in their catalog. And I think I'm pretty much a completist with Dire Straits. And I recently picked up Mark Knopfler's new solo record. I might talk about that in a future video. Uh, so let's talk about what I originally thought was the best sounding pressing of the self titled debut album from 1978. This is the double 45 Gain Ultra Mofi release that I think came out in 2019. A quick check on Discogs. You can still get this for right about what they were originally released at, which I think was $59. Again, it was a double 45 RPM press. And this is a very nice representation of the record. Very detailed, very audiophile. Of course, we learned during the whole Mofi DSD gate that there was a digital step involved in the mastering chain of that album. I don't think that should take away from or color your view unless you have something to compare it to. So last week, I found in a local shop an original first UK pressing. Look at the gorgeous artwork on this. How did Mofi do on the reproduction of this? Not bad, but if I'm going to be a nitpicker, there's not a really good transfer here as far as I'm concerned with the original artwork. Something is missing. This appears to be a little more rich, a little more real, a little more authentic. And those descriptors can actually be used to describe the music as well. For instance, probably the most famous Dire Straits song, Sultans of Swing. It is the lead track on side 2, and on the Mofi pressing, it is actually, where is it? It's on the third side. So second record, first side, side 3, if we're talking about two records. The drum sounds on the Mobile Fidelity pressing are, I'm going to go as far as say almost anemic. If you listen to the UK pressing, the drums are much more full. They have much more depth. They have more body. They have more thump. And in the beginning phrases of this song, there's a lot of snare that is going along, kind of galloping along to the beat. Everybody knows Sultans of Swing, and that's an up-tempo tune with a lot of snare in the beginning phrases or stanzas of the song. And for whatever reason, that is just that whole drum hit scenario and fullness of sound is missing on Sultans of Swing on this double 45 Mofi pressing. It is so much fuller bodied, deeper on the UK. And I could probably expand on this and talk about other songs. In the Gallery, Wild West End. There's just more air, there's more space. there's more life in this pressing than on the analytical, very detailed Mofi pressing. Let's take a look at this gorgeous label. This, of course, was on the vertical label. I love that kind of spaceship and the kind of otherworldly green there that you see. This thing is in near mint condition. And here's the kicker. I think it's pretty easy to find affordable pressings of all of the UK pressings of the Dire Straits catalog, for the most part. I paid $23 for this, and it's in dead mint condition. I've got no ring wear on this gorgeous cover. This is now my forever copy. I'm really pleased with this. You know, in researching the video, I wanted to see, let's see what's going on the Steve Hoffman forum on the self-titled Mofi of Dire Straits. And there is a raging debate going on that's been updated very recently. And the opinion really started high on the Mobile Fidelity pressing. But as time goes by, and this is now a 5-year thread that I'm looking at. I'm going to put a photo or a screenshot of that thread if you want to check it out. More and more people are chiming in and saying, you know what? The vertical UK pressing, the original pressing, just has more life. It has more depth. And, you know, there's a person on there that said, hey, it's no contest. If you have the original UK pressing and you do an AB versus the Mobile Fidelity, you're going to hopefully agree with what he says and what I say. I think the UK pressing is the definitive version right now. That's interesting. So, in my opinion, I don't think the original pressing, the UK original pressing, has been bested. And stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing a special video with a special guest. And we're going to do some deep listening and a little bit of soul searching and present to you guys and ladies some examples of albums that we think the OG still reigns supreme. The original releases of these records have never been bested by so-called audiophile re-releases and reissues. So stay tuned for that. We're going to try and do that video hopefully next week if our schedules align. So anyway, okay, let's move on to another upgrade scenario or situation that I find myself in now. And that is with the fourth Dire Straits record, Love Over Gold. This, of course, was a fantastic sounding record out of the gate. And whether you have a UK vertical pressing or if you have a master disc that is the US pressing, you're going to be very, very pleased. And really the only thing that I think, and I have not heard the UK, but if you listen to opinions of other people and read other opinions, particularly back on that Steve Hoffman forum, and do a little comparison. I have 2 different US pressings of these things, and I think they sound great. However, last week, I found the, where is it? There it is, the QuiX2 limited edition pressing on audiophile quality vinyl. This was the translucent vinyl. You'll see the gold promo stamp there as well. This was a radio station copy. Thankfully, it is still in really, really nice shape. There's no surface noise. Thankful for that as well. I did put this through my Humming Guru twice as kind of a precaution, and just super pleased with the results of this thing. So, if you have an original pressing, UK or American or even Canadian, you know that this thing is detailed. The separation is fantastic. The soundstage is great. take a listen to the QX2 pressing, and it's just everything that I mentioned times two. It is just a roller coaster ride of a listen. There are some very long format songs on this record, very introspective. There's fun as well. Industrial Disease, an amazing track. Private Investigations, the title track is a tour de force, Telegraph Road. In the US, of course, that was on that Warner Brothers label right there. And you probably know that the QX2 pressings are translucent. They were pressed on a higher quality virgin vinyl compound. Also, what I found in this pressing are the radio station's actual kind of play logs. This is really interesting. And there are only 2 copies. And unfortunately, there's not a year on here, but the record was released in September of 1982. And all of these play dates start in November, and then they go all the way up into January. And it looks like Telegraph Road gets a lot of play, Industrial Disease, Love Over Gold. So definitely an FM channel, able to play those longer cuts like the title track, probably later in the evenings. I don't have. I have a date stamp here. Oh, I actually do have times as well. Really interesting. So 8 p.m., 10 p.m., 11:05 p.m. for different plays here. So not an important little tidbit, but kind of cool to have. Again, obviously a radio station pressing. They put some reinforcement on the spine here with a little cellophane tape. I really don't care because the vinyl is in fantastic condition. So, I'm going to have to put out another QX2 video at some point. I am really amassing. I'm trying to figure out like a master list of all of the QX2 pressings that were released with the hype sticker. There are a lot of translucent audiophile quality pressings out there that you wouldn't know unless you put the record up to light. But there are only a certain amount that were badged with the actual QX2 hype sticker, and it's kind of a fun pursuit, but I am working on finding and acquiring all of those that came out. So something for the future. That's today. A look at upgrade copies of 2 different Dire Straits records, 2 that I feel are the best of the best of the best in each example. Stay tuned for more. I will maybe try and get a video out over the weekend. If not, we'll definitely have something next week. Take care, everybody.